Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Wanted to make a really quick video today about my impressions of CES 2018. Now, when I say my impressions of CES 2018, I'm speaking up from the perspective of a console gamer. So, namely, what I'm looking at is the large form factor panels, 4K panels, and seeing how the technology is advancing and what we have to look forward to this coming year. Now, surprisingly, I was left with this feeling that, or with the notion that CES was really about forward-thinking technology this year, not so much about what the up-and-coming technology is. So I've been kind of spoiled, I guess, recently in the last few years because typically it's been about what's going to be coming up in the upcoming year. And as far as 4K televisions are concerned, that really wasn't the case. One of the things that I noticed that I liked was, as far as where the technology is going, is the micro LED and also the 10,000 nit display that Sony brought. And I know the micro LED was displayed by Samsung, and also they were showing, I believe, was a full array QLED, which for me is very, very exciting. I think in the short term, that's going to be a technology that's really going to pick up and take us where we need to go as far as 4K and definitely HDR is concerned. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Now, I know that also TCL and Hisense put out a few models. I know as far as the mid to low range, that's going to be very exciting. But I'm really looking forward to what Sony and Samsung is doing. LG is a great little company, but they really put all their eggs into the OLED camp, and for what it does, OLED is a nice technology, but I think it's a dead end. You've got burn-in issues that really I haven't seen anything or any talk technology-wise that would convince me that they're going to address image degradation and burn-in, not to mention the limitations of brightness. I know I've heard people talk about OLED panels in the 800 nit range, but I haven't really seen anything materialize with that. Of course, I don't own an OLED, so I'm not speaking from any point of authority. But that's why I've kind of discounted them. But as far as what I've heard might be coming out relatively soon, is going to be the full array local dimming on the QLEDs and the 900F from Sony, and also their 850F, which I think is interesting, if only because they're including the X1 image processor. I do want to make sure I mentioned that I was also impressed and excited to hear about the X1 Ultimate processor, which I think is going to really take 4K to the next level as far as the Dolby Vision potentially, if you compare that up with an inherently a physical 12-bit panel. Now, that's another thing I didn't hear about at all is what type of panels we're going to be looking at as far as Dolby Vision that are physically 12-bit panels. And I'm not entirely sure what makes a 12-bit panel or what makes a 10-bit panel over an 8-bit panel. I know I'm fully cognizant of the mathematics and the software side of it, where you've got the variations in color from an 8-bit to a 10-bit and how that binary scheme exponentially increases your color. But what is it about the actual panel that makes it a 10-bit panel versus a 8-bit panel? Because that's basically what we're dealing with going from 10-bit to 12-bit. We've got the 12-bit processing apparently with the X1 Extreme. It does, from a software perspective, do Dolby Vision, but it can't physically display Dolby Vision. So if anybody out there knows that, if you could just comment on the comment section or even point me in the right direction, I'd greatly appreciate it. But now getting back to the subject at hand, as far as the full array a local dimming on the QLED. I really think, especially when you combine that with the Dolby Vision, even if it's not a 12-bit inherent 12-bit panel or physical 12 panel, I think that that's got the potential to really take us to another level, or just basically raise the bar a little bit further. When I look at TVs like the Z9D and even the 940, I don't see that huge a leap with Dolby Vision and the HDR that they're running. So, having said that, I'm interested to see what the QLEDs can do, especially with full array local dimming, hopefully giving them that depth. One of the things I've noticed about the QLEDs, not so much with the Q9 series, but with the Q7s, is that the color's spectacular, but it's rather flat. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'd rather get the pop that the 900 series gives you in the Sonys with slightly muted colors, because these colors have plenty of pop. It's just that the QLED takes it a little bit further. But what it is to me is what it comes off to me is a little flat. So I'm hoping that the full array local dimming on that, if you combine those two things, will really take it to the next level. I can only imagine color with even greater pop and saturation, but not oversaturated, if that makes any sense, but also that greater dimensionality to it with deeper blacks would make for, it would get me looking at Samsungs again, I'll tell you that. Now, moving on from that, I also wanted to give my impressions of, and a more honest impression, I think, of what the 900F and even the 850F from Sony are going to offer. I think the 850 may be a sleeper just because it gives you that greater image processing at what's sure to be a television that's going to be right around the 2000 mark for a 75-inch coming by Black Friday. The 900F, I think, is going to be the television to get in 2018. I'll tell you that right now. I know there's talk that it doesn't come with a TV tuner and the satellite connections and a few other things. I know that they increased the high bandwidth HDMI ports from 2 to 4 on there, so that's a good thing. So there's pros and cons, obviously, as far as the amenities that come with this television. But as far as the overall feature set, as far as image quality is concerned, I'm very, very excited. I believe it will be a poor man's 940 with fixing a lot of the problems that the 940 had. So I'm very excited to find out if any of you picked this television up. One of the things I wanted to go over with real quick as far as the 940 or the 900F, I should say, is concerned, is that it is going to include the X1 Extreme. Right out of the bat, you're going to get the Dolby Digital, or the Dolby Vision, I should say, and you're going to get the better upscaling, which, especially if you're running a 75 or even an 85, especially an 85-inch variant of it in that size, you're going to want the best upscaling possible. So right off the bat, you're erasing a lot of the concern and doubt that somebody might have in looking at a 900E with the 900F. You've got more of the high bandwidth HDMI, and now as far as the image quality is concerned, you've got that processor. Now, I was looking at a video a month ago or so from Modern Wise. I absolutely love that guy. Very articulate, good-looking, sharp young man. And he had this chart laid out where he's putting the 900F right between the 930 and the 900 as far as where it ranks. And of that, I've got absolutely no doubt. He's probably right on the money when that's concerned as far as where it falls in the pecking order. The only problem I saw is that everything else looked exactly the same other than the 6-time contrast and the X1 Extreme processor. Everything else was the same. Now, if they use the same amount of zones, I wouldn't be surprised. But as far as the brightness, he had it at the exact same amount of nits. Excuse my stammering. Which to me seemed a little bit problematic if you're going to go through the trouble of discontinuing the 900E, which has been a monster as far as sales is concerned. And one of the problems that the 900E has is dim HDR, and especially now that you're including Dolby Vision, it would surprise me greatly to try to pass off Dolby Vision with only 800 nits. So I don't just say this without any type of evidence at all. I go to Best Buy's website, and it looks like mid-March they're going to be landing on the stores, and I'm going to go there to take a look myself. I may even go over to Star Power where I originally got my 900E and see if they've got a showroom dedicated to it and take a look. Because when I looked at the power rating on the back, which is one of the reasons why I got the 900E over the 940, is it consumes half the electricity almost, and not quite half, but you're looking at, I think, $49 per year estimated on the 940, and I think on the 900E it was either 31 or 29. I know that it's around the same that the Z9D puts out. And I thought, well, what are they doing that they've got to pump out the power consumption so much over the Z9D or the 900, especially when the Z9D is actually brighter. But of course you could chalk that up to the lighting system being much more advanced than the Z9D. So when I look at the 900F, their energy consumption, estimated energy consumption for the year, is up from high 20s, low 30s to high 40s, like $46 a year, much closer to the 900 or the 940E. So that makes me think that this has got to be a brighter set. Not to mention, I've seen Sony reps when being interviewed by the likes of Apt or AV Forums or any of those channels. They're actually talking about that it's going to be brighter. Now, is it going to be as bright, quite as bright as the 940? Possibly not. But I'd be very surprised if it wasn't at least 1100 nits, just to make sure that it consistently performs over the 1000 nit mark so they can sell it as a Dolby Vision television. Because, again, even Dolby 10 or HDR10, I think the mark really starts to be a premium HDR. You got to have 1000 nits. So that's my feeling on it. I'm very excited to see what that TV's got in store for us in the coming year, and I think that's going to be the television to watch that people who want the best performance at a very reasonable price are going to be looking to get into, and the television that's probably going to be a minimum that you want to have when you're looking at a 9th gen console gaming experience because of the Dolby Vision and the higher brightness. Anyways, guys, that about does it for me. Hopefully it was a little bit more digestible than some of the other videos I've been making. And rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know anything else that you may want to cover. Pretty soon I am going to start covering 9th gen gaming and wanting to get some of your thoughts on that. I've got some very strong opinions. Basically, my response to a lot of speculation that I've seen and direction that I want to see 9th gen gaming go as far as consoles are concerned. Anyways, please rate, comment, subscribe. If you really like the videos, let me know, and let me know what you would like to see in the future. All right. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, bye-bye.